This team, man, it sneaks up on you. Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad. I'm up here on the top. Down below is your Star Wars Dad, Nooch Too Good, playing Grand Arena this last week. And this last week, I got a few stiff reminders of how valuable the Geos are in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, both in Grand Arena that I thought even more. We don't talk about them a lot lately, but those Geos are really crushing it. Let's hear about a little bit what I got to say here. Let's see. But these I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, Geos are still they're still there, man. What a cogent message from Nooch Too Good. I mean, I'm telling you guys, Geos are still there. Amazing footage from Grand Arena. Let's take a look at these Geos. And we're gonna come back to that footage because what happened this week in Grand Arena, which was a crazy reminder to me, and I haven't really thought about the Geos a lot. They're not part of any major farms anymore. You know, they're part of the Malevolence fleet, but you don't need them for any Galactic Legends. You don't need them for any journeys. You do need them for Wat Tambor shards. They're important there, but we just don't talk about them a lot anymore, and we don't really emphasize them as part of farming guides anymore, but they're still super effective in the lower levels of Grand Arena, as noted there with me getting a hold with low-level Geos, and in a minute you're going to see me doing a bunch of fails against Geos as well. But what else are the Geos here for? There's a few other reasons. It's not just their effectiveness in the early game, and yes, by mid-game they've fallen off a little bit, but I gotta tell you, every now and then they still get holds on defense, and there are a lot of teams that do not pull that off. They tend to be underestimated on defense, and you can really do something special with Geos in the right situation. But the other reasons that Geos, I believe, are a requirement for every well-put-together free-to-play roster, and nearly a requirement for every well-put-together pay-to-play hyperdrive bundle, lightspeed bundle, you still need to get the Geos on there. And this is, well, I'm going to tell you why, right? I'm up here talking, but you've got to have them to get into a Geonosis Territory Battles guild. You need to be in Geonosis Territory Battles as soon as you possibly can. And for the most part, guilds are not going to let you into their Geo Territory Battles guilds unless you have some Geos basically at Gear 12. It can be done with lower Gear Geos, but primarily Gear 12 Geos is the way to go to get into a Geo TB guild, because when you get into that guild, your Geos are going to help you earn Watt shards, so you can actually punch up in your guilds. We talk about punching up in guilds now with Inquisitors to rise the Empire. We have kind of stopped talking about how you punch up to a guild by having Geos on your roster as early as possible. So that's one reason to have your Geos on the roster, is to punch up with your guild early on. Number two, the Geo ships, specifically Spy and Soldier, are very easy to farm in the Galactic War Store, so that by the time you get to level 78, you need the Executrix at 5 stars, and you need to have 6 5-star ships, and by the way, you need 5 5-star ships, 5 dark side 5-star ships to get the Executrix unlocked at 5 stars. And when you put all that together, it starts getting you in the Ability Materials Challenge. In the Ability Materials Challenge, it's in your weekly ship challenges, your fleet challenges. You're going to start earning 6 Zeta Mats every week through that challenge. But the Geos are the easiest path to doing that. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm starting a new free-to-play account. You have voted, and I will not be farming Geos on that free-to-play account. More to come on that soon. We're going to be starting it very soon here on the channel, so make sure to like and subscribe and turn alerts on. Be aware of watching a brand new free-to-play journey, kind of a fun one, an exciting one. Maybe a little Lord Vader action in there eventually, but a fun free-to-play journey here on the channel coming your way soon, as we finish Jabba, but later in earlier next month, whatever. We'll be there very soon. Anyway, back to the Geos. So it's not only that you need them for Geonosis Territory Battles, it's not only that they're the easiest ships to farm to make sure you're succeeding at level 78 to get those Zeta Mats in the Ship Ability Materials Challenges, they're also a big part of the Malevolence fleet. And the Malevolence fleet, for many, many people, will be the easiest fleet to farm, to have not an end game fleet, but a really solid high-level fleet in the game. So, obviously we got Leviathan, Executor, and Profundity. Those are the big boys. Then you got Negotiator if you've got the Marauder in there, which means you have to farm the Bad Batch, which is kind of a big ask for early gamers or free-to-players. More to come on that with the new account, by the way. Or you've got to get the Chimera, but you need to have, with the Chimera to work against those big high-level ships, you got to have the Scythe, which means you need Inquisitors, another big giant investment. For the investment that you invest in Geos and their ships, the Malevolence is really the best payoff if you're not going to be investing in those other ships and a lot into them. I'm just telling you right now, and the Geos are big. So there's 3 big reasons right there, but let's go back to Grand Arena, and I'm going to fast forward the footage a little bit so we can watch what happens to me here in Grand Arena when I'm facing the Geos. And here we are with my Vader about to face out. They're Gear 12 Geos. I've got a Relic 3 Vader. I'm like, I can get in there, outspeed them, and I'll take care of business here. We'll just get them going. The thing about the Geonosians on defense in Grand Arena, and yeah, we're talking about Carbonite and Bronzium, but what do you want? I mean, that's where a lot of us are, live our lives in Carbonite and Bronzium. I'm 45 weeks into this account, and I'm in Bronzium 4 on a free-to-play account. Vader goes in. All it takes is one little mistake against this team, and it's about to happen right now. I didn't assess the speed properly, or I didn't look. I think I looked. I feel like I looked and didn't get it right. And now I got an ability block, and it's done. It's over. This battle is over. There's nothing I can do here. And I just want to emphasize, guys, my Geos, and this is not the only round, my Geos have gotten holds. I usually beat Geos like this, but if you try to go cheap, and people do this, people will try to go cheap against Geos. They think, oh, I got it set, we're good. It happens. I'm so upset. I can't even look at the camera right now. People will try to go cheap against the Geos, like I just did. People will even go with the regular team against the Geonosians. They can cause real problems. One thing goes wrong, one little hitch in your giddy up, and your Geonosians are going to get a big hold on defense and just do great things for you. Now, another kind of nice thing with the Geos is, as you move through the mid game and the late game, they become a nice little cleanup team for you. They can clean up a lot of stuff out there. They're certainly, and I'm going to confess, they're not as useful as they are in the early to mid game. New early mid game Geos are just, that's when they're straight. They're just the ballers. Once you get into Chromium Grand Arena and beyond, they're not going to be as effective for you. But still, especially in 3v3, by the way, 5v5, Vader gets to take a lot more turns, is a lot more effective. But in 3v3, your Geos can still surprise players with a hold, and it happens. I mean, here's 2 relics and a Gear 12. Here's my Palpatine. I'm not going to win this one either. The Geos are just not only a great team for early and new players to have, they are a required team for free-to-play players and a nearly required team for people that even buy the Hyperdrive bundle or Lightspeed bundles, just to make sure you're punching up on the guild, getting your Zeta mats at level 78 as soon as you hit level 78, and also there for your Malevolence down the road. I don't talk about it a lot. They've kind of fallen out of the farming guides. We don't really, get into it much. They used to be like the focus of the farming guides used to be get the Geos first and deal with everything later. But that's kind of faded over time for my farming guides. But we may start have to get back to this conversation about doing this early on your roster, because the Geos can cause a lot of problems to your opponents and cause a lot of benefits for your roster. And that's all I got to say. I hope everybody has a great day. I will definitely talk to you soon. And of course, always remember, Nuke's too good.